welcome everybody. Welcome agents. Today we're excited to introduce you Schiller International University. Schiller International University is the first American university founded in Europe with over 60 years of academic excellence. They have the campuses in Florida, in Paris, in Heidelberg, in Madrid. So they offer a truly global education experience, and the students can learn by doing, and they engage with a diverse international community. So we are really pleased to be joined by Ms. Akata Sis this time. She is the Business Development Manager at Gedu Global Education, and she will be walking us through what makes Schiller so unique and how to apply and living arrangements, tuition fees, and of course the partnerships opportunity.
Thank you so much. Yes, as our lovely host already said, Schiller International University is an American university, and it is the first American university that came to Europe in 1964 in Heidelberg. So that's where it all started. And since then, I can easily count that we've come a quite long way, over 60 years now. Yes, now we have 4 campuses, as mentioned already, and the 4 campuses, of course, are Tampa in Florida, in Madrid, in Paris, and in Heidelberg in Germany. So what is great, what is my, I think, favorite thing about Schiller is that students can basically spend each year in a different country because it is an American curriculum. So bachelor's degree is 4 years long. So as I said, they can spend the first year in Heidelberg, second in Paris, third in Madrid, fourth in Tampa, or whichever way they want to mix it. It's completely up to them. So that's one great thing about it. And another great thing is that even if they don't want to go to USA because it's too far, maybe they don't want to be so far from their family and friends, or maybe it's too expensive, because let's be honest, it is a lot more expensive than the European cities. Then even if they decide to spend the whole degree in Heidelberg or in Madrid, still they get an American diploma, identical everywhere on all campuses. So the main diploma, the main document, the main degree they get doesn't mention, for example, Schiller International University Madrid. No. So that's another amazing thing, which I think will be very important for the students, because this is an American university, so they choose it for a reason. They choose it for the American education. So it's nice to have an American degree upon graduation. So let's take a closer look at some other important factors of Schiller. So first, of course, I already discussed that it's an American degree, whether you study in the USA or in Europe. Another one is that some of our programs offer an option of a dual degree. So I will discuss it in a second, but there are two options here. So one is a dual degree with a British University of Roehampton. So the students study one program, but upon graduation they get two degrees. So in this option, they do not actually go to the UK physically. They spend all 4 years, or 1 year in case of postgraduate studies, but for bachelor, they spend all 4 years with us on one or any of our campuses. And then once they graduate, they get 2 degrees, 2 diplomas, one from us, one from Schiller, and the other one from University of Roehampton. The other option is a bit different, because they spend the first 3 years with us on one of our campuses, or again, many of them. And for the last year, for the 4th year, it is obligatory to move to Ireland, to move to Dublin. And they spend the last year at Dublin Business School, which is one of the top universities. And upon graduation here, again, they get 2 diplomas, 2 degrees, one from us, from Schiller, and one from Dublin Business School. So this is a great opportunity for the students that want to take their education even one step further, because they want to not only earn one diploma, but to just studying one program at a time. The next point here is also what I already discussed. So students can benefit from the intercampus mobility. So they can easily transfer between the campuses without losing any of the credit, because if they choose, for example, international business, the program is exactly the same on all campuses. So there are no program differences. If they study in Heidelberg, students in Madrid are having the same classes. If they study in Paris, students in USA, in Tampa, they have also the same program, the same curriculum. So this is very important, that they can move easily, even treat it as a year abroad or half a year abroad even, but without losing any of the credit, which is very important, because what happens sometimes when students participate in the Erasmus exchange, for example, is they go for a semester abroad, then they come back. But since the partner university didn't offer all of the subjects they should be taking at their home university, then they need to do the program differences, for example, in the next year, etc., etc. So that's I think very important. And then what's how we teach at Schiller? We have an intensive learning model, which is now changing. I mean, it's changing to intensive learning model, because before, our students were studying in a focused learning model, one subject at a time, and they were having classes 4 days per week, 3 hours per day. Sorry. But since a lot of our students already work, as soon as they arrive, as soon as they find an opportunity, a lot of them engage with part-time jobs. So the students were saying that, well, we'd like to be a bit more available maybe to our employers. So we changed it from 4 days per week, 3 hours per day, to 2 days per week, 6 hours per day. So so the rest of the week is, let's say, for them to use to gain experience. But what we also offer, so let's say, for example, classes are on Mondays and Tuesdays, or Thursdays and Fridays, then Wednesday would be, let's say, a bridge between those two groups. And on Wednesday we would offer additional activities to our students, like skills development, CV building, or career counseling, LinkedIn usage workshops, etc., so that we make sure that if they have not found a job yet, but they would like to, we make sure that they have a chance, because we focus on employability a lot. We also create a lot of opportunities for students to interact and network with representatives of our partner companies. So we organize job fairs, we organize one-on-one meetings with the representatives. Students can also take part in global challenges. So this is also a thing that I really like about Schiller. Uh, how it works. So, for example, like a big partner company comes to the campus, and they present to the students some challenge or some problem they encountered while implementing some projects, and the student's job is to work in groups or in pairs, or maybe even individually, to come up with a solution for the problem that the company has. So they do it for some time, and after some time, the company, let's say 2 3 weeks, they come back and they listen to the students. So the students have the opportunity to present themselves, to make the company representatives remember them, and then make it easier for themselves to find a placement at this particular company. So this is a thing that I really like, because they don't just get theoretical knowledge, they get real life examples of cases that the companies come and they just discuss. So the students see what it's like in a real environment at work. So that's a great thing. So that's what we are doing. So 2 days of classes, then 1 day for the employability activities, let's say, and then the rest of the week is for the students. Of course, they do need to work at home a bit for the classes, they need to prepare for the classes, they need to read some materials, they need to sometimes prepare a project or a presentation or write an essay or whatever. But if someone is good at time management, then it's very easy to combine it with a job. So that's how we teach. We teach them in a way that we are making sure that they have time to develop their skills at work. Then, what is important is that the language of instruction on all our campuses is English. So, even if they study in Germany, we would not require even basic knowledge of German. If they go to Paris, we would not require any knowledge of French, which is quite important because I know that sometimes, especially in France, I think the universities at some point start introducing subjects in the local language, but not here. Is the contrary. So the students come with zero knowledge of the local language, and we provide them with some language classes in the beginning to at least help them function naturally in the surrounding of the city, so that they can go to the supermarket, do some shopping, or they can ask someone for the way if they get lost somewhere in the city. So that's what they get from us. But like I said, we do not require it, which is, I think, very important to stress. uh, the classes are in small groups because we believe that each student should have a good interaction both with the teacher and their classmates. So we want to make sure also that all the students get personalized attention from the teacher, so that we make sure that everyone is keeping up with the material, that everyone understands everything, that nobody needs extra help, and if they do, we are there to provide it. So the classes are in smaller group sizes, so that everyone can feel taken care of, and everyone can follow the material and be able to ask for help, anytime. So there would not be lecture halls where we keep 200 students during a lecture and nobody knows anyone, and the teacher doesn't know the students, because that's impossible to remember that many names. So everything is more personalized, and in smaller groups. Our student and alumni network, in our network, we have students from more than 130 countries worldwide. So that's a very important thing, I guess, for students to also function in an international environment, not only in a sense that they are already studying abroad, but also during the classes they are surrounded by people from many many different countries, which definitely is a great thing for their also future employability. Because if a student is surrounded by, and they work in groups, for example, and if they work in a group of 6 people and everyone is from a different country, and they need to discuss something or analyze something, everyone can contribute in a different way because everyone was raised in a different country. They have a completely different perspective. They can provide completely different examples of whatever they want to present. They were, they met many, many different inspiring people on their way. So this is a great factor, that they surround themselves with international colleagues, and they can also network with their colleagues, because you never know who your colleague is going to be in the future. So that's also something very very important, I believe, in the process of learning. And then what is also important is that we offer a lot of different scholarships, which I will discuss in a second. So, when it comes to accreditations, partnerships, authorizations, we have all of the local certificates. So, in the USA, we have the Commission for Independent Education, Florida Department of Education. We also have the ACCSC. In Germany, we have AVALAC. In Spain, we have Comunidad de Madrid accreditation. In France, I'm not gonna dare to read and embarrass myself to, pronounce the name of this authority, but you can all see it on the screen. So anywhere we are, we don't only have the American accreditations, we also have the local ones for all the courses that we teach. So that's also another, I think, important factor. And when it comes to US curriculum, as I already mentioned, for bachelor programs, it's not like European ones. So it's 4 years long. And during those 4 years, they have the first 2 years, they focus on general education. So it means that we want them to have a very broad perspective on everything. So, for example, even if a student chooses computer science, they would still learn subjects like organizational psychology or European modern history, because we want them to know a little bit of everything. So during the first 2 years, they would have more general education, not only specialized in the field that they chose. And then in the years 3 and 4, they only focus and dive a lot deeper in the field that they chose and they applied for, when they already have the basics of the knowledge from the first 2 years. And then, of course, we also offer master's degrees, which are mostly 12 months long programs at Schiller. Just one is 15 months, but it's still not that long, because some European universities, for example, Polish ones, the master's degrees are 2 years long. So at Schiller, it's a bit more condensed. And then, of course, we have the lifelong learning. So that's how we all live. So even after we graduate, of course, everyone keeps learning, forever, because we develop ourselves in different environments, etc. So that's how we teach our students. And what can a student study at Schiller International University, which is probably one of the most important questions here. So we offer 7 bachelor degrees, and they all have the 4 year curriculum. Like in terms of organizational matters, they're all pretty much the same. The fee is the same, which I will mention in a second. So here students can choose from international business, international marketing, computer science, international relations and diplomacy, international hospitality and tourism management, applied mathematics and artificial intelligence, and business analytics. So here, the two last ones, the two marked with a dark blue star, these are new programs that we just introduced. They are starting this September. And those that are marked with the red star, dual degree, these are offered in a dual degree version with University of Roehampton, while with the Dublin Business School, what we offer in a dual degree option are the three in the top row. So international business, international marketing, and computer science. These are the degrees that students can study as a double degree with Dublin Business School, and the three degrees that they can study with University of Roehampton are international business, international relations and diplomacy, and international hospitality and tourism management. So as you can see, if someone chooses international business, they have at least three options to choose from. So one is to only do the Schiller degree, which is of course possible because the dual degrees are just an option. It's not obligatory. So they can either just get an American diploma, or get an American diploma plus a British diploma, or get an American diploma plus an Irish diploma. So here, definitely, they have something to consider. They should think well before they apply. And then when it comes to postgraduate offer, so we offer MBA. We offer MBA in international business, and this one is offered as a dual degree with University of Roehampton. And this is, as I mentioned already, the only degree that is 15 months long, so a bit longer than the rest, because all the remaining ones are just 12 months long. So we have MBA in international business. Then we have MBA in Spanish on the Madrid campus, of course, only, as you probably have guessed. Then we have master in international relations and diplomacy. We have digital marketing and e-commerce. We have sustainability management. We have global finance and data science. And now, as you can see, international relations and diplomacy and sustainability management have this little note that says in partnership with UNITAR. And in a second, like I think in 2 slides, I will explain what it means, because that's also something very important. But first, also let's mention that we offer distance learning. And our admissions process and application process for this coming September is still open for distance learning, because obviously the students don't need a visa, they don't need to move abroad. So here we are still accepting applications, and I will mention the amazing scholarships that we have for this one. I'll mention it in a second. So, in the distance learning option, we offer two bachelors and two masters. So, we offer bachelors in international business and in international relations and diplomacy, and we offer MBA and international relations and diplomacy on postgraduate level. So, here definitely some options to choose from, and what is definitely worth mentioning is that our distance learning is around 70 or even more percent asynchronous, which means that the students, they basically study at their own pace, they study whenever they want, of course within the deadlines that we give them. So for example, they get materials and they get some tasks to do within a week or two, but within the time, whenever they do it, it's fine for us. So if someone can't sleep at night and they wake up at 2 a.m. and they think, oh, maybe I'll watch my class from Schiller, perfectly fine, because they have access to the platform where the materials are. They can basically do it whenever they want. So that's a great thing. Another great thing is that, for example, if after the first year or the second or even the third year, suddenly they think, huh, well, I wish I studied on campus. They can still go and study on campus. So they cannot transfer from online to on site during the academic year, but each time after completing full academic year, they can transfer from the next academic year on campus. So they can, for example, start as distance learning and then next year move to, for example, Madrid, then to Paris, then to Heidelberg, etc. So this is a great option for the students that, for example, this year, for some reason, they cannot move abroad, but they would like to start doing something. So this is especially important for international students that probably, for them, it's already too late to apply to study abroad because of the visa process. But in order not to lose this 1 year, they can apply for a distance learning degree, study the first year online, and then from the next year transfer on campus. So in this way, they do not lose the first year, and then they smoothly just transition to on-site studies. So that's definitely a great opportunity. And one while discussing the fees, I will mention the scholarships that we have for this September because they are very attractive. Yes, and a unitar. So the one that I've already mentioned. So the 2 degrees, 2 master's degrees that we have are taught with partnership in partnership with Unitar. So international relations and diplomacy and sustainability management. So here, what benefits it has. So first is that the students have an opportunity to apply for an international internship at an international organization somewhere for a 3-month internship, and with a lot of personalized mentorship and support from our side. So here, of course, I can't say that we guarantee it for everyone, because the students also need to work a bit for it and show some initiative and put some effort in it. But we do offer such opportunity. Then another one is that they get an official certification upon graduation. So aside from their diploma, they get this official certification. And of course, some of the classes here during the course, they might be taught by Unitar experts. And my personal favorite benefit of this partnership is that they can have their graduation ceremony at the United Nations headquarters in Geneva. So they can go there, they can take the stage, receive their diploma, and of course while being there, they can also, it's a great opportunity for networking with United Nations employees. So that's definitely an added value to that. So that's what Unitar is about. And now a monthly estimation of living expenses, I think Probably no surprises here that Tampa is the most expensive of the locations that we have. It's mostly because of the housing, but not only, but yeah, mostly. Let's be honest. So the least expensive is Madrid. So if a student is looking for a place where they can live and, like, can afford living easily, then Madrid is a great option. Then Heidelberg, not a big difference, less than 200 euros per month. And this, of course, is just an estimation. So it all depends on the lifestyle, whether the student cooks for themselves or they prefer eating outside. Because if they eat outside somewhere in the city center every day, that would probably be a lot more expensive than what you can see here. So this is just an estimation. But as you can see, Madrid is the cheapest location, then Heidelberg, then Paris, and then, of course, Tampa. When it comes to housing, we do not offer our own accommodation. We don't own our own accommodation, but we do have an accommodation manager who can help the students. We have also partnerships with relocation companies or private accommodation providers in the locations where we have campuses, so that we can connect the students with them, and the students can use their help to find a place to stay. And we can also say from experience, it happens, I think, at every university and everywhere, that after some time, after a month or two or three, students make some friendships, they meet other students, and then they look for a place to stay together. So that's also something that we can support with. Yes, and as I mentioned, that we have a big focus on employability and on providing our students exposure to the labor market and its representatives. And I mentioned the global challenges or the visits from the companies on campus. We also do study visits in the company headquarters, so our students go to the company office. They can interact with the employees there. They can see what real work looks like every day. So these are some of the partners that we have at Schiller International University. As you can see, all of the names are well known. These are big global companies, businesses, corporations. So we work with them to offer some development to our students. Yeah, we also offer a lot of workshops. As I said, this one day during the week is fully focused on like workshops, company visits, study visits, job fairs, etc. So that we can keep our students busy, and we can make sure that their personal development is also taken care of. They also do some volunteering. They do sports activities. So these are just some of the pictures of our students and what they did in the past. Yes, and admissions process and tuition fees. So admissions process is really easy. So as our partners, you have access to our CRM system. So you register an application, filling some form with personal information like obviously name and surname, a phone number of the student, email address, home address, date of birth, etc. Like very standard information. And if you submit this application form and you attach a passport, student gets a conditional offer within up to 48 hours. So just a passport and this application form is needed for a conditional offer. I can give you examples. I already have three, I think, applications for Schiller for September 2026. So next year. And obviously, the students are still in school, so they are still in their last grade. They don't have the high school certificate, so the only thing they could apply with was the passport and the application form, and they already have conditional offers to study. So, of course, the conditional offer mentions the conditions that need to be met and the documents that still need to be provided. So the application form and the passport, and then once the student has the documents ready, we also need their final high school certificate plus transcript plus some proof of English. And here we accept the whole variety of them. So it can be IELTS, it can be TOEFL, it can be Cambridge, it even can be a Duolingo online exam. So not of course a screenshot from the app that they're doing their lessons since 200 days, no, 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 but the Duolingo online exam, or even a medium of of instruction. So if previously they studied in English, so for example they went to an international high school, we can accept this as a proof of English. So basically that's it. And then what is a very important step in the admission process is the academic interview. So the students need to attend an academic interview. Of course, each time I meet with the students and I tell them what to expect, what kind of questions they might get, what kind of answers they should probably give. I send them the materials to prepare. I send them, everything that they need to read before the interview, familiarize themselves. So nothing stressful, nothing to nothing to worry about. They just, this is a part of the process, and it's a very important one actually. It usually lasts between 20 and 30 minutes depending also on how the conversation goes. But if a student is answering fluently and is answering all the questions the way they should be answered, so like not avoiding covering some topics, etc., then it should all be fine. It would not be too long, etc. So that's the admission process. For bachelor, for master, it's the same. Just instead of high school diploma and transcript, we need their bachelor diploma and transcript, and that's it. So that's very easy. And when it comes to tuition fees, this is a bit complicated, I know. So maybe let's do it another way. Um, let's not look at it. I will tell you what are the fees and what are the scholarships that we have now. So for bachelor's degree, so for undergraduate, 1 year of studies is 15,000 euro plus 400 euro of student activity fee. So 15,400 per year. But this is the fee before we apply any scholarships to it. So don't get too attached to it, because for EU students that are EU nationals, we offer 50% scholarship on the first year on any campus they want. So this lowers the fee to 7,900, which is basically a standard fee at the European university. And if you remember that it's an American university, this is basically, half, not even half, probably like 20% of what they'd have to pay in the United States. So that's for undergraduate. For international, that's for European Union students. For international students, we offer 20% scholarship in the 2026 because it's for too late for them to apply for on-site studying for this September. So for international students, we can offer our January-February intake, and they can get 20% scholarship plus additional 10% if they pay as an early bird, which would be by the 1st of October, and then plus 5% additional scholarship if they decide to pay the full year's fee in advance, because we do not require it, but if they decide to do it, we give them additional 5%. So that's bachelor. For masters, we actually just revise. We are now in the process of revising the fee. So before we had some of the degrees, they did have 10 months of duration, 12 or 15. Now all of them have 12, apart from just one, the MBA in International Business. So the standard 12 months courses, all of the postgraduate ones, the new fee is 16,500. So we lowered the fee because, as you can see here in the slide, it used to be 19,560. Now it's 16,500. And again, same scholarship applies. So for EU students, 50% scholarship. And on bachelor, it was for the first year. On master, it's for the whole year, obviously, and for the whole course duration. So 50% for EU students. And then for international, same scholarship applies. So 20% plus optional 10% plus optional 5%. So that's for the fees on site. But as I already mentioned, we still have our application process open for distance learning for this September. So distance learning bachelor's degrees, both of them that we offer, the fee is $8,500. And for postgraduate, so MBA and International Relations and Diplomacy, the standard fee is 10,800 US dollars. And here again, we offer 50% scholarship in this academic year. So for bachelor, for the first year, for postgraduate, for the whole degree. So you can easily calculate that you can get an American MBA degree for only 5,400 American dollars. So now I'm thinking, I'm not sure if that's possible anywhere else. I don't think so. And what is also important about the distance learning, because I did get this question once, so I think it's important to mention it, is that it's 100% distance learning. So there is no need to appear somewhere on campus even once. So even all the assessment, all the exams and everything takes place online, which is very important, I guess. So that's important to mention. So 50% on the first year for bachelor or the whole course duration for postgraduate. And then, both on distance learning and on campus, we offer a merit scholarship, which depends on the student's performance. So, if their GPA is 3.5 or higher, then for the upcoming years, they can get another 50% scholarship. I know it's a lot of scholarships, but we just like rewarding good students. So, but it's usually 50%. So it's not that difficult to remember. So 50% of merit scholarship if they get a GPA at least 3.5 or higher. So for the first year, we give them scholarships from our side for a good start, and then whether they keep it or not is up to them and up to their performance also. So that's how it works with the tuition fee. And of course, I mentioned those two options of a dual degree, one with University of Roehampton and one with Dublin Business School. So in these options, each year of studies is an extra 3,000 euro, which means that a total of this extra degree, for example, in bachelor, is only 12,000 euros. So for 12,000 euro in total, you get a full British or Irish degree. So that's a great opportunity. That's a steal, basically. And on this extra fee, no scholarship applies. So because these are not our fees, these are the fees of our partner universities. And I would say that it's all. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much for this presentation. As always, it's great, it's amazing. Thank you, Agatha, for coming to us today, and thank you also agencies for joining us.